Hi, welcome back. I'm going to be showing you today how to add the zipper closure to the Opal bag. You will need both your lining pieces and both of your exterior pieces before we start. Okay, so grab your zipper. I've actually used a longer zipper here and I've changed the pull on it, as you can tell. And when I've done that, I've had to cut off both ends, so I don't want to accidentally pull the zipper pull off again, so I've stitched at both ends. And no more accidents, because I've actually pulled one of them off before. So the first thing we do is we lay one of your lining panels down with the right side up, and then we lay the zipper over top, right side up also, so the pull's up this way. Pin it in place and then take it over to your machine using a zipper foot and stitch down that side with a 1/4 inch. Back stitch at both ends. Okay, so I've sewn the zipper to one of the lining panels, and now I've grabbed one of the exterior panels with the connectors, lay it over top of the zipper. Make sure you line it up. Double check to make sure that your lining panel and your exterior panel are exactly over top of each other. There may be a little bit out in some spots, but it's not important too much down here, as long as it is lined up at the top, because that will line up your handles. Okay, so take that over to your machine and stitch again, another 1/4 inch. You can flip it over and follow the stitching, or do it on this side, whatever's easy for you. Okay, so I've stitched both my exterior and my lining to the zipper, and when you flip the exterior out, you will notice that the zipper pull is on the outside and the lining is on the inside. Now we need to repeat that to the other side of the zipper. So just do the same thing again with your lining panel, stitch that to your zipper, and then do your exterior panel, and then I'll show you how to put your bag together. Okay, so both my exterior pieces are on, both my lining pieces are on. I've top stitched next to the zipper. I don't top stitch through the lining, okay? I know some people do that on these kinds of bags, but you don't do it on this pattern, okay? When you top stitch, push the vinyl back and top stitch over that to hold that in, okay? Another thing, before we put the bag together, this is very important, leave your zipper pocket open. I forgot to tell you that in the last segment. Okay, so what we're going to do now is put it all together. Fold actually first undo your zipper about 3/4 of the way. Not all the way, because when you go to sew, stitch around there, you don't want to stitch over your zipper pull. Fold it down onto each other, the exterior onto each other, the lining onto each other. Push the zipper teeth down towards the lining. We're going to be sewing all over them. We won't be leaving any gaps. I tend to pin in this area and work away from the zipper. So I don't want to pin on the vinyl. And my connectors I think are a little bit out, but I don't think it's going to make much difference once the handles are on. Don't try to push them together, because it will make your zipper wavy, because you'll be moving the zipper a little bit instead. Okay. So. Okay. They're lined up. I use clips on the vinyl. Try and match up your sides as best you can. No matter how hard we try, there's always one little bit that doesn't match up perfect. These aren't too bad. It depends on how well you cut your pieces out. If they're matched perfectly, you should have no problems. Okay, and then just pin your lining pieces the same. Take it over to your machine, stitch all the way around. Okay, so I've stitched all the way around the exterior and the lining. The lining I did do a little bit wider at the 1/2 inch, and the seam around the exterior was 3/8. Now that that's done, we have to do the corners. So I've done the 1-inch squares, as you can see in the corners. I've drawn them from the stitching, not the edge, okay? And on the large, I think it's 1.5 by 1.5. This will give you a 2-inch width on the bottom of the bag, and on the large it'll be 3 inches. So now what we do is we pull them apart at the corners and we fold on that corner there of the square you made. Fold down the seam. You could draw the line all the way across if you'd like to make it easier to follow when you stitch, and just stitch across that line, making sure that you back stitch, but just a couple of stitches. We don't, because it's vinyl, you don't want to do too many stitches in the one spot. I'll be back to show you how to turn the bag inside out. Okay, so I've sewn the corners, flattened them down and sewed right across, back stitching at both ends. Then I've trimmed them down about 1/4 inch, okay, on all of them. Now we're ready to turn the bag inside out. So remember we left the zipper pocket open. Now we stick your hand through there. I tend to fold the bag in half, like that. Especially when it's a small one, it comes through easy, but some of the big ones can be a little hard. So grab that, you start to pull it through the pocket. Once you get a bit through, you can just push it through. It comes through pretty easy. Just manipulate it all out. Once you get your little corners out, you roll them between your fingers. And push your lining in. I still tend to put my hand through the pocket and help push up those curves. And push your lining down into the corners. Once you've got it sitting where you want, then you can pull your pocket lining out and fold the edges down and sew across the bottom to close that off. You can either do that by hand or with your machine. There we go. So the bag's finished now. I've just got to make the handles and then I'm done.